Kanye West makes it on the show here, strikes a deal with Gap, 10-year deal for a Yeezy Gap apparel line. This is just some standout news to me. I was curious about all the inner workings of this, how this might go down because of the affiliation with Adidas or Adidas, however you like to pronounce that. Are they cool with this? Did that deal run out? Is that deal going to be just on the sneakers, not the apparel? Does it get to coexist? Imagine the backstory on cutting all these deals. Also interesting because Gap's been having trouble, at least with the flagship brand. Old Navy, I think, has been doing better. Gap also owns Old Navy. Kanye, since the beginning, said, I'm going to have this lineup. I want to have a product people can afford. I'm sure you heard this before.
Yep.
It never came about. Not that I'm aware of. The affordable Yeezy stuff, this article on the New York Times talks about some recent Yeezy products, Yeezy merchandise on Farfetch recently included a $925 graphic cardigan and a $241 women's thermal sweater. Okay? So that's a couple of dollars, Will, as far as I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that appears to be the thing. It's been an expensive brand, not just on the initial run, on the initial market, but also on the secondary market when people go to resell it, the popularity of Kanye West, the name, the Yeezy brand independently without any affiliation. But what this lets him do is it lets him align with a big market chain with a footprint and with a back end. Obviously, huge operations where you can get the quantities up and get the prices down. So he's partnering on some basics. I like basic clothing. Well, I like to wear basic things.
Yes.
No big logos and things like that for the most part. So they're partnering up on some basic stuff. It'll be introduced in the first half of 2021. It's supposed to be affordable. I don't know on what premise, but Gap things are relatively affordable compared to designer stuff or the pre-existing Yeezy stuff. It's a 10-year deal, which is a monster. Imagine signing a 10-year deal for anything with an ability to renew within 5 years. And Gap is hoping, apparently, that Yeezy Gap will be generating $1 billion in annual sales at the 5-year mark. And then the New York Times goes on to say, for context, Gap's brand brought in $4.6 billion in global revenue last year. So they think it could be a quarter of their business at the 5-year mark. That's some big expectations, a lot of pressure, man. Holy. Yeah. If you're Kanye right now, you're hoping this goes well and that people buy into the affiliation. What is your feeling, Willie? I'm genuinely curious. Are you going to check this stuff out in 2021? Could it be your new wardrobe, the Yeezy Gap collab basics?
I used to be a fan of Gap. I like their basic stuff. And if they continue to push out basic clothing, yeah, I'm down for it.
So I should say that as big as those figures are in the billions, Yeezy has been doing it with the Adidas collab. Yeezy shoes, which can cost hundreds of dollars, even more in a secondary market easily, are expected to top 1.3 billion in sales last year. So it's not that outlandish.
No.
The name is big. The affiliation is big. It's just a question. See, Yeezy, Adidas, feels closer than Yeezy and Gap.
Although I feel like since they have Gap Kids, Kanye could,
he's got
give
kids.
A push in creative direction for Gap Kids clothing.
You think so? You're saying Yeezy Gap Kids as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the parents.
All right. So you're saying billions of dollars, no problem.
Within 5 years, I think
all right, Willie Doo's on record. Come back and get him. One thing I will say, since you are the business guy on the show here, you bring up the stock as you like to, and okay, never mind. It cooled off. No, do a 5-day. Look at it. Look at that spike, my friend. Go from $10 up to Yeezy brought 14. In $4 per share for a minute. Now it's starting to dive back down. People are skeptical. I mean, what can you tell from the stock market in 2020 anyways? Even the biggest investors are saying, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Warren Buffett comes out and says, you're in for a rude awakening over here. Stock market not reflecting what's actually happening. But you're the business guy, Will, so you know that already.
Yeah. They'll bounce back.
You know that already. Everybody's bouncing.